Welcome to the Childcare Genius podcast, proud to be the world's #1 community for brilliant childcare leaders. Each episode will feature interviews with the brightest minds in the childcare industry to guide you into becoming a smarter business leader. Our hosts have opened 10 schools while raising 5 children. They are certified business coaches and are the top-selling childcare business book authors of all time. This episode is sponsored by Elif Childcare Insurance. Give Blake a call at 972-232-2258 to get a free quote on childcare business insurance today. Let's welcome to the Childcare Genius podcast our hosts, Brian and Carol Dupre.
Welcome to episode 57 of the Childcare Genius podcast.
Hi, everybody. We're your hosts, Brian and Carol Dupre, and we're excited today. But before we get started with episode 57, I wanted to tell you a little bit about one tool that we have. And I'm just looking at this today. It's our Childcare Mindset Dreams, Goals, and Gratitude Journal. And if you ever have written down your goals, your dreams, this is a great place to write them down if you've never done that before. And you do need to do that. We give you the steps of how to do that. I think these are like $10 on Amazon, but at childcaregenius.com, you could order them. But it's a chance for you to write down your dreams, write down your goals, have something written down that you can start driving for. And there's a place in here to put your gratitudes, things you're thankful for each and every day. And you want to write down your gratitudes because when you're having a bad day, you can just go to your gratitudes and your bad day turns into a good day. So don't forget about the Childcare Mindset Dreams, Goals, and Gratitude Journal. Again, at childcaregenius.com. And today we're going to be interviewing Lena Perez. Now, I've been coaching Lena for close to a year now, and I coached her many years ago as well. And her business is growing fast. She's a remote owner. She lives in Texas, and her schools are in Oregon. So if you want to learn how to get out of that day to day and have your business run without you, this is the episode for you. So enjoy.
Let's get Lena on the line.
Hi, Lena. Welcome to Childcare Genius Podcast. How you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you.
We're excited to have you. So where are you located?
I live in Dallas, Fort Worth, in Texas area. Yeah.
Oh, you're in a hot part of the country. You guys are boiling over this summer, aren't you?
Well, it is. We're back to a heat warning, but we had a cold front last week, so it was 99. So.
Oh, wow. That's a cool front. Yeah, Maine has never hit 99 in the history of Maine. So I wouldn't even know what that's like up here. Yeah. We're in our 70s here, and that's perfectly, beautifully seasonal weather right now.
That would be nice. Yeah.
No humidity.
Yeah, it's so weird when you walk out and it's like you can't even breathe, or my glasses will steam up immediately.
Oh.
No, thank you.
No, that's brutal. Well, let's talk about a really hot subject. The reason I want to bring you on because you're a pretty unique owner in the childcare world. Your centers are in Oregon and you live in Texas. So you're a remote owner and not many people can pull this off. And everybody has the dream of being less involved and having to go to your schools as often. So we want to pick your brain a little bit as to how you do it, what systems you have in place, because I think more people want to be like you when they grow up and being able to schools to run without their day-to-day involvement. And you've pretty much mastered it. And we've been working together for almost a year now. And I'm still in awe how you put this all together. You're amazing. You're actually opening a new center in another week. So let's dive right in. And why don't we just start by just talking a little bit about your schools and how you got into the childcare business?
Yeah, I started in childcare like so many people. I was actually a single mom and I just didn't want to miss out on time with my daughter. And so I had a ministry background, and so I'd worked for a church. So I just had a heart for serving people. And so I thought, well, I mean, I could be home with her and I could still serve people in this capacity. So I opened my in-home childcare in 2005 and ran that for a while and loved it. Went from a registered family with 10 kids to a certified family with 12 kids, then to a certified family with 16 kids. And then I had staff at that point. And I was just taking a ton of classes because I felt like this isn't my background. My background was church work, and it was more like adolescents and women. And so I just took a ton of classes. And I mean, honestly, it's helping my parenting too, taking all those kinds of classes. And just started realizing the more I was in classes with people who worked at other centers, that a lot of them weren't super happy. They felt like their contributions weren't valued a lot. They didn't feel like they played a valuable role in their centers. And so it kind of started in me this desire, like, I kind of want to go bigger. And I want to open something, to be able to take care of staff. And so I started thinking that through, and then ended up doing a meeting. There was about 40 providers, and we started realizing there's the huge need. This was in 2018 for infant care. So I was like, well, I could open something. I could provide more infant care in our area. We won't be able to, solve the whole problem, but we can do our part to add to that. And so a year later, we opened our center. So May of 2019, I opened the center that I have currently. And so I ended up, though, like meeting people who were remote owners, and it just gave me like, wait, I could run my centers and I could possibly move. I have a daughter who does competitive cheerleading, and Dallas is like the mecca of all things cheer. Like if you watch any shows, they're all from the Dallas area. And so I just thought if I could get my business at a place where I could move and she would be able to do kind of her dream, I don't know. So I just started working towards that. So we moved a year and a half ago to Dallas, Texas area, and she's living her best life. And I have other girls here too, and they love it here. And we're running it remotely. I do the business part, so I still am involved in a lot of it, but my staff do all the day-to-day things, and we're just in constant communication. So,
way to go! And what a good thing. You only get that time with your kids once, so
Yeah.
what a way to be a super mom. That's awesome. We're looking forward to meeting your daughter when we go to Jamaica next month at our conference too. That's exciting. I'm sure you guys are really close.
We are, and it's been neat to see as my kids are getting older, to see them wanting us to have this family business. And it's kind of been talks that we've talked about a lot about, do we want to expand? Do we want to be able to all kind of work this business together? And so that's been kind of as they were getting older and saying, yeah, we want to be a part of this, Mom, we're starting to look at other opportunities.
That's exciting.
So
That's good.
Yeah.
What would one thing you would say you do better than the competition in your area, and what makes your center stand out from other centers in your area?
Well, it's a weird question to me, only because the other big centers in my area were good friends. So I hate to say like we do anything better than them, because I don't know that it's necessarily better. It may be different. I have a huge heart to take care of my staff. And so that has been, I feel like if I take care of them, like they're going to take care of our littles and our care. And so that's been a huge thing I've focused on. Our staff is, they're like family with me. They're like family with each other. And so I feel like it's one of the things that makes us different from a lot of other programs is just the super closeness that we have. We're not a huge center, so it's easier everyone knows everyone. And so, I just feel like my goal is to help them to be the best they can be, not just for work. Cause like, I don't know, I want them to have the best life they can have, And so like one of the things we're doing right now is we're focusing on Enneagram stuff, because I feel like it's helped me a lot in seeing when I'm going down unhealthy pathways just because of my own fears and stuff. And I feel like if I can help them, not only we're going to have a coach come in next month and work with us on team building, but also I want them to have some of the skills to see where they might be, doing things that are not as healthy as they could be, just because that's the path they've kind of created for themselves. I just want them to have great lives in general, not
nice.
And then that spreads into our programs, it spreads into what they bring in, because they can come in happy and fulfilled, and they're doing the things that bring them joy. And so I would say my focus on staff could be one of my huge differences.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's a good differentiator. And obviously, without your team, you don't have a business. So I love that. Uh, so, I mean, you've been doing this for a little while now. And what advice would you give to someone who may be struggling in their childcare business?
Um, Gosh, there's so many things you could be struggling with. That's so huge. I feel like it's such a hard industry, in general, just so many, I mean, you're caring for people's precious children. It's why my business name is Priceless Treasures, because I feel like we're caring for their most priceless treasure. And so I feel like there's the whole business side, and then there's the whole, caring for children and family side. And I'm sure you guys have heard this. I remember years ago, a friend telling me it's like mixing oil and water, so that business and personal it's hard, you're like, oh, we love you. We love your child. Okay, now pay your bill, so it's just kind of this like weirdness. And so for me, what I would say, one of the things is just finding people who do what you don't do as well. So like I wanted to serve. So I was like, we weren't making money the first couple of years because I was like giving everyone a discount because I felt bad for everyone, And so to have my director now who she follows, like, here's what the tuition schedule is. And so she can follow all of that. And then I can choose to help. And, I feel like I've been given so much so that I want to be able to help some families out. And so for me, it's been having kind of that partner side, we'll laugh about it because like, the Enneagram part, she's a 6. And so she's all about policies and procedures. And I'm not. I'm like, let's all just get along and be, get along together. And so to have us working together. So if you can find people who can complement you, I think that's huge. And then it's finding like-minded people. So obviously I am a huge proponent of like Childcare Genius University. I also feel like, I've made good friends with other center directors in my area. And maybe someone could maybe it's a town over, so you don't feel like it's competition, but find people who you can, run things by or cry with if you're having a bad day, or people that just get what you're going through. Because I mean, just today I called a friend of mine has a center in my town. And I was just like, oh, I'm just feeling the weight of, just kind of everything. And so for her to like, oh, I get it. Me too. Even though we didn't necessarily solve anything today, it just felt good to talk to someone else who gets it. So those are the two things I would say.
And for the listeners who don't know what an Enneagram is, it's like a personality profile that you can do. And it's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And I know I've done it, and it's darn spot on. So it's interesting. And don't even ask me how to spell it, but if you look it up, it's a pretty neat thing to do.
Yeah. The thing that I feel like it's been good, it's really helped me to see like when I'm doing something, like for instance, my Enneagram, I tend to like want to shut down. And so I'm realizing now when I'm starting to shut down, like, nope, I just need to choose to show up and continue doing what I know to do. I can't hide in my room for today, and I want to, and so it just helps me to make the right choice, and know that this is the healthy path. So yeah, the Enneagram. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. If you don't mind sharing, what's one business goal that you have for 2023?
Well, the biggest one, I mean, we're opening a center in a week and a half. So honestly, my biggest goal right now is just getting us to, break even and then to full by the end of the year. So that's my hugest one in the moment.
It's hard enough opening a center when you're in the area. It's another thing to open a center when you're 1,500 miles away. So good for you. Congratulations on that. That's a big accomplishment. I've worked with remote owners before, but they have moved away from their schools and not opened one. So you're the first owner I've worked with who's opened a center remotely while living remotely. So it's been interesting coaching you through this, and so good job. It's a big congratulations in order for that.
Thanks. It's interesting because we've thought about Texas, but we have so many contacts there. We already have a name there. So it's just sort of easier in some ways. And I have staff who I've been working with for 5 years who we've kind of dreamed about this day together. They wanted more opportunities, and, so it's so fun to see them coming into these opportunities and watching them like kill it. Like they're like, Lena, what about this? You don't have a policy on this, or you need to, and I'm just like, oh my goodness. Like it's like, I'm sorry, it makes me want to cry. I'm so proud of them. Like I'm just so proud of our team. So, and it's hard right now. It's hard. I mean, I just spent 3 weeks there, getting furniture in and unloading and setting up classrooms. And, they did an open house last night without me, and I mean, they rocked it. So yeah, it's like they're my kids, and I'm just so proud of them.
Well,
So,
I'm sure they're proud of their work mom too.
Yeah.
So,
What would you say, if you don't mind humbling yourself, one of your biggest mistakes you've made in the childcare business so far, so you could help somebody else avoid it?
I think, I probably have two. One would be letting my fears rule me, because it's easy to let our fears just sort of shut us down. Um, the the other one is just finding good work-life balance. And honestly, I didn't for a lot of years. I just worked so hard, so much. And then in the meantime, I'm a single mom. So like trying to get my kids to all their stuff and doing all the stuff. And then, a couple of years ago, I had a breakdown because of it, because I just hadn't taken care of myself during any of that time. And so, us, being away from my center where I can still do the stuff that I need to do, but I do it when I want. Sometimes it's midnight or 1 a.m, because that's when my brain is working, but then I can still kind of, do the stuff with my kids I need to do, and we homeschool. And so just, I don't know, finding that good balance, making sure we're doing the things that bring us rest and health, and and it's hard when you feel like everything falls on you. You got to keep it going. You got to keep it done.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Balance is
for
important.
sure.
And we teach that in our coaching program, because you can't always work and you can't always play. You have to find that work balance for sure, and get time for yourself.
Mm.
You gotta have balance, because this business is too stressful not to have balance.
yes.
So
Definitely.
you do one-on-one coaching, Brian. How has your experience in the Childcare University helped your business grow?
Well, so I mean, I've been a part of Childcare Genius University for almost a year now, but honestly, so I'll get to that in a second. I've had the benefit of coaching with Brian before that. And like COVID years were hard. And so like, I can't imagine having gone through that without Brian. So like, he was able to do some one-on-one coaching. There was group coaching. So I feel like I've benefited from him and for several years now. And so, I feel like having him now, to be able to go over my letters of intent, my leases, and give me suggestions for stuff, because I've never had to form a lease. I don't think of all the things that could go wrong or I need to include in it. And so that's been super helpful for me in this new location, because we're opening one in 2 weeks, and then we have another one we're working on to open by the end of the year. And so to have someone to bounce those ideas off of. And then the other thing that's been huge for me is like, I don't know, when Brian will say like, you're doing a great job, like it means so much, because I can see all my flaws and like all the ways I'm probably missing the ball and stuff. And so to have someone who has experience and stuff, I don't know, it's just, for me personally, it just means a lot. So I guess, I don't know, it's been so nice to have that one-on-one too. I mean, I'll send him stuff and he'll be like, can we get on a call tomorrow or something, and I need it to go fast because people are needing stuff. So it's been so helpful. I've really appreciated your input into my business and my life, Brian.
Well, I'm humbled by your words. You're one of my favorite people to work with, because you're so coachable, and you're very humble, and I'm kind of at a loss for words, because it's hard when people are talking about you and you're on the call. But I want people to share your experience, because there's people out there struggling right now, and they're alone, and they're trying to make decisions, and maybe they're not the best business minded people. They're heart centered, they're teachers, and they're doing this alone. And we share that question not to brag about my coaching, but to share that you don't have to do it alone. And when I first met you and first started coaching, you were in a tough place mentally, a tough place for your business. You were struggling. And once we got your mindset right, we started working on that first. We got that in a positive light. Then we started focusing on your business. Then we looked at your long-term goals. And then expansion was part of your long-term planning. So we found, we worked on finding the location. We had a whole process, and you have followed it to a T. You did all the work. You're the superstar. I'm just the guy. I'm the rudder. I help steer you. That's all. But you're done all the work. You're the engine that propels it, and you should be congratulated for your amazing success.
Well, thank you.
Well, anyway, we're going to wrap up. But before we wrap up, I want to ask you, where's your happy place? What's the mindset? Where do you go to relax when you're mentally? Where's your happy place?
This sounds weird, but anywhere with like running water. So creeks or rivers or pools or the ocean. Like I just like the sound of water and to be near it. And yeah, I think I like my kids to be somewhere near there too, because I like to have them around. But
well, we like water too. You moved to the wrong area because Dallas, you're not near water, are you?
Yeah. Well, we have a pool, so.
Oh, okay. So you go splash around in the pool.
And we put a water feature in so I could hear it, so I can sit out there. Yeah.
Well, the good news is 5 weeks from today, we're going to be hanging out by the pool together in Jamaica, and by the ocean. We're going to hear the waves lapping up on the beach. From your room, you open up your room, you can hear the waves crashing in the beach. And we're going to be at our Leverage conference with over 100 childcare business owners down in Jamaica. So we're looking forward to seeing you and your daughter, Ava, in Jamaica in less than 5 weeks, 4.5 weeks.
So excited. Yeah.
Well, anyway, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy life to share a little bit about how to be a remote owner and the struggles you went through, and for humbling yourself. And again, thank you for the kind words on the coaching. We love working with you. So have a good rest of your day. We'll see you in Jamaica.
Thank you. Bye.
Her business is really growing.
Yeah, she's doing great. And I'm so proud. So proud. It's like a proud papa. And I love it when my coaching students thrive. There's so many childcare owners who just survive.
Right.
They go from crisis to crisis to crisis. And when you are goal oriented, which all of our students are, we set goals, we set quarterly goals, start working on them. When they are goal focused and they can start thriving, it just makes me so proud. So I love seeing that. And she's very coachable. I think that's the key. Sometimes I've met clients who think they know everything. And that's the hardest person to coach, who's not teachable. And I remember when I first got my first coach, I realized that, I can learn from anybody. And I'm willing to submit myself and learn. And the second I did that, I'd learn a whole lot more. So you got to be teachable and coachable. And if you think you know everything, then you definitely know that you don't. So if you need help in your childcare business and you're like Lena and you want your business to thrive, you want it to thrive, you want it to succeed, you want to grow, you want to expand, or maybe you're struggling with some of the things that she said she struggled with that I helped her work through. Go to childcaregenius.com under the coaching tab, select I'd like a coaching call with Brian. I'll give you a complimentary call where we can give you 2 or 3 things that you can work on in your business right away and change to help your business move forward, because I hate seeing people struggle in their business. So this concludes episode 57 of the Childcare Genius podcast. Thank you so much for taking time out of your life to spend a little bit of time with us.
And just a reminder to hit the subscribe button so you won't miss a future episode of the Childcare Genius podcast. And we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Childcare Genius podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please do us a favor and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a future episode. Don't forget to visit our website at childcaregenius.com to see a list of services we offer to help grow your childcare business. Until next time, thank you for being a part of the Childcare Genius community.